Hey everyone, welcome to our live. This is the 3 o'clock live, and I am Heather, and we come to you live each and every day so you learn about Luminous. You're able not only to learn, but ask questions about Luminous, how to airbrush, how to do everything. If there's products you want to see, we are here for you. So we give you plenty of opportunities to get to know us. So we have color cosmetics, we have skincare, and we have airbrush, of course. Everybody knows airbrush. And so every time we do like to go over airbrushing. And here is one of our systems. Let me take the times off real quick. This is our Icon. We also have the Icon Pro and the Legend. The Pro has the 2 speeds. And so if you're doing like some body work or some tanning, the Pro would be great because of the dual speed. And then, but you can do everything with the Legend and with the Icon. But it comes with makeup. So we give you everything you need to get started. And so we give you the 2 large bottles of foundation so you can color match. So you can find that perfect shade 365 days a year. And then we also want you to start practicing with this. This is your practice kit. So get it out and get using it. And then it comes with Love and Blush as well, but you're only going to be using drops of that at a time. Now, when you get your system, you're going to open it up, plug it in, because it already comes put together, and then pick up your stylus, turn it on. When you turn it on, there's air that comes out. And with this air, the air will come out. With the air, it gives you an opportunity to see how it's going to, or to feel how it's going to feel on your face. And wherever you feel the air is where the makeup's going to go. So nothing is being released until you pull back on this trigger. And so turning it on and just feeling that air, that is practicing. And so keep it 3 finger widths away, keep your hand moving, keep the stylus moving, just nice little, just move that, enjoy that air. Then put water in here and then start pulling back on the trigger. And again, you want to pull back super light on the trigger. This isn't traditional makeup, so it goes on differently than traditional makeup, right? We all know that. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do some eyes today. And I have some lashes out here, so of course we're going to do some lashes as well. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to use our concealers. And this one is Okra, or no, I'm sorry, this one's Ecru. And usually with our concealers, remember to work one section at a time. They will set quickly. So if I wanted to put on this eye, I'm going to go in and work with that. Then I can go in and do the other side. Now, what this is going to do, I'm using this one to, my lids are darker. And so I'm using it to cover up the darkness in my lid. You can already tell the difference. And it also creates a great base, or a great foundation, basically, for my eyeshadow. And if I'm using the blender, I'm just going to go in and blot. If you're going to use your finger, make sure it's your ring finger, because that is your weakest finger. And just blend that all in. Making sure. Blend, blend, blend. All right. So again, once that is set, it is set. I am going to take a little bit of powder. And this is our translucent setting powder. And I'm seriously just doing a little bit. Like barely enough to do anything, but it's going to, what it'll do is set the makeup or set the concealer. All right. So because I'm going to do eyes first, and because I'm going to do, I'm going to use our Nude and Naughty palette, I'm going to do all my eyes first. And the reason for that is when you are doing eyeshadow, you do have an option to do your eyes first, because if you have any fallout, meaning if anything falls to the bottom, you can clean it up before doing your foundation or before doing your concealer. And so I don't have to worry about it messing up or doing anything. I'm safe. I can do whatever I want because I haven't even done anything down here. Hey, Candy, how are you? So I'm going to go in with a medium, it's probably close to my skin color. I'm going to do this on my lid. How are you doing? And I'm just patting that. All of our makeup, from eyeshadows to lipsticks to lip liners to blush, everything is so high pigmented that you honestly do not have to like scrub your eyeball. You can really just place it right there. And then using a blending brush right here, I'm going to go with a medium color, medium brown. And I'm going to do that in my crease. And just go back and forth. Hello, Jeannie. Good to see you. You just had a nap. Whew. It is raining here in Houston, so a nap sounds really good. It's that nap weather. So I'm just doing a little bit right in my crease, a medium brown, blending it, making sure there's no hard edges. And making sure to blend, and again, for no hard edges, but I'm blending up and down on the lid to not just stick in the crease, but with the matte color, we are creating more depth. Oh, you're putting a relaxer in your hair? You know, this is how you can tell what the weather is where we are, because if it's humid, rainy, I start curling. It starts. So that's usually how you can tell. Now I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this bronzy color. It's one of the deeper bronze. And I'm going to also apply this on the lid, but just right where, I might have to go a little bit deeper, the color of my eye is. Let's try that one. Kind of mixing. And this one does have some shimmer. Ooh, you know which one I could use? Let me see if this one works too. I'm going to show you in just a minute. This is actually the Lion King, the Circle of Life one. Then I'm applying a little bit of shimmer right on the lid, still keeping it matte close to my eye. But just adding that right in there. I'm kind of just still mixing all these shimmers together just to get it right where I want it. Oh, Candy, you like the Circle of Life? It is pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, so lid is done to a certain extent. So if I looked in the mirror and I'm like, okay, I like this, but let's even take it up a notch. That's when I go in with a little bit. I'm going to take a smaller blending brush. If I can find it, here it is. It's the same blending brush, just a little bit smaller. And with the dark brown, I'm placing it on that outside edge because that first touch of where you put the brush is where most of that makeup's going to go. So you want that on the outside and blend it in. So I'm just going back and forth. I don't even pick up the brush. I'm just blending it in a V shape. Now, if you wanted to, you could take another brush, even the flat eyeshadow brush, and get the product on there, and then take your blending brush and go in and blend. It's whatever makes it easier for you. I find that just sticking with the same brush makes it easier, but you might like to do it a different way. And then I'm going to blend that medium color up just a little bit more so you can see it. Right there. Now I'm going back to my flat eyeshadow brush, and with the dark brown, I'm going to smudge some liner. I might mix these colors together too. Underneath. Now, because I haven't done any concealer, foundation, anything like that, I can be as messy as I want because I can still go in and clean up whatever, whatever fallout. So that is the great thing about doing that first, because you can go in and clean that up. So I'm going to take my wipe and I'm going to show y'all a trick. So you can take the end of your brush, wrap that wipe around, and then just go. You can also do that with your finger, but sometimes having that right there makes it a little bit easier. And I'm just turning it so I don't keep wiping that the same side of the wipe with that. And then I'm able to really get that cut edge so it doesn't look sloppy. It's right there. I'm gonna, maybe it's this side. I need to blend a little bit more. Blend that up just a little bit more. Now I didn't add any on my right at my brow bone because I went lighter with my concealer, and so that gave me the brow highlight underneath without having to add anything on it. Now let's go in and do, I'll do the CC concealer and shaking it up. Adding a few drops. And now I'm going to use the CC concealer underneath the eyes, looking up, angling my stylus down just a bit. On my nose. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I did spray too hard here. Now, what you can do in that case is blot it out. You can tap it out. You can take a blender and blend it out. But again, no mistakes. So now I can go back and correct. And I'm going to do more coverage. So I'm going to blend this down a little bit more. Make sure my nose, where it's red at the tip, is covered between my eyes. And now I have my coverage. Now I'm going to go in and let's go ahead and mix our blush. Oh, you know what? Let's do the regular blush. I'm going to go in with my Silk 4-in-1. Shaking them up. I love this Silk 4-in-1 because it has the anti-aging properties in it. It has your moisturizer primer, it has your concealer, and it has your foundation. So it is a little more forgiving. So I can go in, make my pass. Go in and I make one pass. To make sure that I'm, to me, it's easier just to make one pass because I know I want at least one pass to blend everything in. And then I can go back and see if I need to tweak or if there's certain areas where I might need a little bit more coverage. But because of the CC concealer and the coverage I did receive from that, chances are you might not have to go back because most of my coverage is here. So if I already got majority of that with the CC concealer or the peach color corrector or whatever I used, then chances are that maybe you don't have to use as much foundation because you already got some of your coverage. Does that make sense? So, all right, now let's go in. Let me get some of my glue. And I'm going to do lashes while that's drying. I'm going to do the rest of my cheeks. And I'll do some contouring. I'll do the blush. And take my lashes off. And I know that I do need to cut the end just a little bit. So I'm grabbing my scissors. And you'll also, when you do lashes, you'll know exactly, like I know to cut that much. Like I know to cut the last couple off. And so you'll get it to that point where you'll be like, oh, I know. You don't even have to measure anymore. Even if you're using a different set or anything like that, you'll know. Just like airbrushing, it'll become second nature. All right. And now we'll go in, curl them. Now I curled them before because you can't curl them with the lashes on because it'll pull the fake lash off. So if I curl them now, then they're going to go with the fake lash. I am going to go in and do liner first. I'm going to do the Persuasion eyeliner in black. And I'm just doing a very, very thin line right at my lash line. And what this will do, especially if you're new to lashes again, this will give you something to shoot for when putting the fake lash on. So I can go straight for that line. Once I get the lash on and they dry, then I'll go in and probably line one more time. But what happens is if you're new, this gives you something to shoot for and where, place to go. And then if there is space in between your lash line and the fake lash, that black will fill in the space. So it won't be as noticeable. And so you're able to cheat it basically. So right now I'm just putting the glue right on that edge. When I do the glue, I have the glue on the counter and I just do like a line because I used to do it like just a little plop of it. But because I drag it through and I don't want it I just want it on that edge and not on any of the hair, I find that it's best to be able to do that line. And then with the glue, it rolls right off. Like once it dries, you can just roll it off and you're fine. Now, tweezers, mirror, the magnification side is here and I'm looking down into the mirror. And this is going to stretch. Let me get some more on this one. This will stretch the eye how I need it to put this lash on. If you've ever had lashes put on professionally, they'll ask you to look down or close your eyes. And that's because it will, like, your eye shape is different if you're looking down versus up. And so this will help with that. So I'm looking down into my mirror, going up and over, shooting for the line. Oh, awesome, Candy. I have to get over those curled. Put that one on. I'm gonna let, and now you can tell like it's sticking out right now, so it's fine. I'm just letting this dry a little bit more so it sticks, and then I'll place the end. Right, like that. You definitely want the glue to get a little tacky. That means you want it to dry a little bit so it does stick. Now I am going to bend this one a little bit. I'm just doing this back and forth so it does stretch or bend the way I need it for my eye. And then taking the other one, going up and over, setting it just like that, just boop. See, this one does not want to go, so let me stretch. All right, now let me do it again. Getting that end on. Oh, it's stuck to my tweezers. Make sure you don't have glue on your tweezers. That happens all the time. And now this one is not sticking on the edge. Am I worried about it? No, because I can go back, hold, and kind of hold them into place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just kind of hold him. If he's tacky, it will have more staying power or more grab. So you just need to hold it for a few seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let go, and it'll stay. The other thing that, if maybe you're like, oh, I put them on and it was too soon, they're too wet. The other thing I would recommend is don't open your eyes all the way. You can kind of finish your makeup looking like this until it does dry a little bit more, and then you can open up your eyes. But you can always go back and check to make sure that all the parts are still on, that you have, you know, like the edges are usually what pops up. So you want to make sure. If there is a gap between the lashes, you can even take your tweezers, close them, and push the band of the lash down or squeeze them together. Squeeze your lash and the fake lash together, and sometimes that'll work as well. So you do have some different options. You know, I think people get all worked up. They're like, oh, I have to hurry. I have to do this. There's a lot of time that you have to kind of play with it and to move it. So that's, you know, that's why I'm saying, like, let the glue get tacky. It's not going to dry all the way. It, you know, it'll, once it's on and you have it set, it has time to dry. Taking the Cut One palette, doing a bit of contouring. A lot of contouring. Right there for sure. And I'm going to grab my blush, the Charming blush. And right at the apples of my cheeks, just a little pink. Now, even though I had, you know, I've already done my foundation, I did contouring with the Cut One palette, I can still, if I wanted to use the plum blush or mix those two that we love together, of natural and plum or natural and tulip, I could have done that still on my cheeks, even though I've contoured. Like at any time you can do airbrush and traditional cosmetics. So there's no right or wrong answer. It's whatever is going to work best for you. Now I'm going to take Dusty Rose lip liner. And I do have a little bit of gloss on. So I'm going to smudge that a little bit more. Go back and hard. And doing that, so that with the gloss on it, I can smudge that where it won't be as pigmented or rigid. It'll still be soft. I'm trying to use something else besides Ballet Pink, but it's so hard. What is this? This is Enchanted Forest. This will be a good one. I love these cream confessions. They are creamy. They have a ton of pigment, so they stay on, but it feels like burro. It feels like burro. Then after this is done, you have two more options. So I can go back, line the eyes, and that's just to kind of tweak it, to perfect it, make this transition smoother. Right there. And then you can also go in and do a little bit of mascara. Now, sometimes I like to do mascara at the, like here, just to color my lash a little bit, because if you were like right here, you could see my lash just because it is a little bit lighter than the fake lash. So if you did just a little bit, like one swipe of mascara, then it would color it and you wouldn't see the difference. And then you can always add it at the bottom as well. So there you go. Easy, easy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And hey, we're going to be back right around the corner. We'll be back at 5 for our last one of the day, and we'll be on Facebook and YouTube. So I hope you can join me. I hope to see you back at 5. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.